Damn it, Ricky, I catch you fucking this machine again, I'll break your neck.
Sorry, Chief. How you doing, partner?
Ex-partner.
Let me go, Max. I'm not hurting anybody.
Good to take you back.
In the year 2004, time travel is a reality.
You are charged with violations of TEC Code 40.8, time travel with intent to alter the future.
And a crime.
It turns out going back in time is a pretty easy way to make money.
I think you got yourself a shipment of gold that you're taking to General Lee.
The genie is already out of the bottle. The technology is there.
Now, one man
You ever hear the name Aaron McComb?
is about to take the ultimate power trip.
He's gonna be president.
You don't need the press, you don't need endorsements, you don't even need the truth. You need money.
But to enforce the laws of time,
Are we still together in 10 years? Am I dead?
one man is determined to stop him.
I cannot go back to save her. This scumbag is not going back to steal money.
Stay here, Walker. My future, you're dead.
I think you planned too far ahead.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Ron Silver.
Will you get him?
Mia Sara.
I'm still kicking. I must be on Broadway.
Timecop is a 1994 American science fiction action film directed by Peter Hyams. The film is based on Timecop, a story which appeared in the anthology comic Dark Horse Comics. This is the first film in the franchise. There was a sequel and a TV series later on.
In the action thriller Timecop, Jean-Claude Van Damme excels in his most complex and dynamic movie.
I believe it's a good step ahead for me. It's got all the elements. Love story. We've got the action, the sci-fi look. But behind the action, we'll have a very, very intelligent story.
In the future, time travel is vulnerable to corruption.
Going back in time is a pretty easy way to make money.
You are charged with time travel with intent to alter the future.
Max Walker is the one cop who can keep it all clean.
Some private companies go back to the past to change their future. Special cops like Walker are trained to go to the past to stop those people without changing the future.
This scumbag is not going back to steal money.
Stay here, Walker. My future, you're dead.
Tony Award-winning actor Ron Silver plays the shrewd, antagonistic Senator McComb, a man whose capacity for evil is matched only by his quest for power.
Elections are won with television. You don't need the press, you don't need endorsements, you don't even need the truth. You need money. My character goes back to try to correct a mistake he made a long time ago, and he's going to get money to help advance his career in the future. Never interrupt me when I'm talking to myself. What was intriguing about the script was the opportunity to play an old and a younger version of yourself and be in the same scene together. With this technology, this motion control, which I've never had the opportunity to do, where you're acting with nothing, because it's all digitized. So what you do is you're acting with nothing there, and then you're acting the other part with nothing there, but you have to match what you did on the computer. The chip is going to be worth billions. My billions. Now, read this. You just read it and do what it says.
Actress Mia Sara plays Lisa Walker, a woman murdered 10 years before by time-traveling outlaws.
Are we still together in 10 years? Am I dead?
Now, with the help of her husband, she has a second chance at fate.
It's about time itself and how we use it. And were we ever given a second chance? Would we do the right thing? It's nice because they've named me pretty active. I think it's a classic sort of fight for survival. It would be a real challenge.
Roll now. Rolling. Ready. And action.
Director Peter Hyams, the man behind such films as Outland in 2010, had a specific concept when it came to designing the film's many time travel elements.
I'm looking for something that looks quite feasible. So I wanted it to be like the manned space program. I wanted it to be dangerous. I wanted it to be crude. I wanted it to be risky. So we've got this enormous cavernous stage that we're using for this launch bay, and we're laying tracks down and building this pod, and they're going to send this thing rocketing down the stage at 40, 50 miles an hour. God knows what's going to happen when we make it finish. Action! Claude has a pretty big palette of emotions and feelings that he has with him that I think have never been fully realized. I'm very impressed with his ability to project warmth and a kindness and intelligence, as well as the fact that he is this world-class athlete of astonishing proportions.
For Timecop's many stunts, the cast and crew worked in sync with the top professionals in the field.
Jean-Claude himself is very involved in terms of these areas of film. So it's really fun, because he really does understand how to do it. And action. It's a different type of movie. It's a trip. Plus, it's a strong love story and a great-looking film. We'll get him! And action!
Next month on Cinemax.
Will you lay off the fucking candy bars?
Fun fact about our next guest, I once kicked his ass in Antwerp. He has a brand new motion picture entitled Timecop, which opens on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, you scared me there because you bent over to undo your jacket, and I thought you were going to just recoil and take me out. You know?
No.
I thought it was some kind of like secret jacket move you were going to get me with.
It was a long time from Antwerp.
Yeah.
The great camera guy, he's following me all over.
What can you tell me about Belgium? What is life like there?
Great food.
Yeah.
Great wine. Great people.
Yeah, I was there once a few years ago and found the countryside to just be unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of I guess you get a lot of rain there.
Rain, a lot, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of...
For season, we have snow for Christmas, like in New York.
Uh-huh.
Not like in Hollywood. But.
And what did you do there as a kid? What was your life like there when you were growing up? How did you get to be a film guy, a big star like that?
I was not born that way, David. No, it's true. And... So I was spending time...
Oddly enough, I was born to be a talk show host. I was born this way. That's the sad part about it.
He's cutting me away.
All right, so then you just start out as a kid growing up in Belgium. Yeah.
And I was very small and skinny. And... For real.
Paul,
I just couldn't believe you were ever small and skinny.
Paul, we have a guest. Please.
Paul, I was like you.
Yeah,
and then I train every day to become better.
Just go to your room.
All right. No. Stay here.
So you started out as an athlete? You started out as a bodybuilder? You wanted to get into martial arts, that kind of thing?
Yeah. I wanted to become... it's like... I became better.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally.
And a very But then when did you decide you wanted to get into films?
When I was 13, I was dreaming about movies. And so in Belgium, we don't make any movies, maybe one every 10 years. For real, low budget. And I was dreaming on TV, Christmas, you know, those big movies like McQueen, Paul Newman. And I was dreaming about movies, and I told my mother, Ma, I want to go to movies, I want to be a movie star. And she said, hey, you're gonna do great, just don't tell your father. So I was dreaming and dreaming.
Yeah. And it's come true.
Yeah.
But see, now that's what people don't understand. How did it go from being a dream, you're a kid in Belgium thinking, I wanted to be in a movie once every 10 years, to now, you know, you're like a big deal?
I tell you why. Like I said, it's not... Stop laughing, guys.
Why, oh, yeah, please, do me a favor, don't piss him off. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I know.
I want my kids back!
Paul, don't say nothing.
I'll be in my room.
Okay,
we'll stop the silliness. We have to do a commercial, and when we come back, we'll finish up the story. All right. We'll be right back here, ladies and gentlemen, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I've got my sister in the on the first row.
It's a little like Belgian bandstand here tonight, isn't it? Man, that's pretty impressive.
You left the show, so I did something.
I know. I was called
He's always
outside
in business,
briefly.
doing phone calls.
Oh, I know. What? Let me talk about. Or did we ever finish up how you then got into a movie?
So, okay. Yeah. So my first big fight, mentally and physically. Do we have some subtitle for the show?
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. So my first fight was against me because
you struggled with yourself.
Yeah.
You were your own worst enemy. You had to overcome. Yeah. That's right. It's all in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have to wage the.
So I trained to become better physically, mentally. When I fought myself and I win, then everything was possible.
Right. He's right. He's right. See, I know what you're talking about. Okay. It's with all of us, it's the inner struggle.
Right.
People are going to get me punched. Thank you. What do you think of guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Who else would be in that category of guys that you might relate to? What? Hey.
Sly.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone, right. Yeah. Do you like these guys?
Yeah. Yeah. They're great people.
What about Steven Seagal?
Great.
Steven Seagal does he do what you do essentially? Is he a martial arts?
Yeah, different type of martial arts. Aikido. He do stuff with his hands.
Who's tougher, you or he?
I run faster.
But if he were here right this very minute, and we said, okay, you're going to fight it out right here, who would win?
You'll have to ask him.
No, he ain't here.
Okay.
You can relax, he ain't here.
I don't know.
let's ask the audience. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, I know my stuff. It's like, yeah, you're a bad guy. It's like I'm saying between you and Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Who will, No, I mean, by the way, I watch him every night. I think he's great.
Oh, that's very, very nice. The motion picture Timecop, this is fascinating. It's a time travel adventure.
Right.
You can go ahead in time and backward in time.
No, only back.
We can only go backward in time.
In that movie.
In that movie. Well, that'd be a good idea for a sequel then.
Right. That's why it's so good. But like, imagine your first girlfriend. If you did something bad, she didn't enjoy, you can always go back in, you know?
Well, you know, guys like me are still looking forward to our first girlfriend, so... I know we're running out of time, but can you bust something for us? Is there anything you...
Yeah. No, hold on.
We have...
Oh, no.
Can you get in there and...
David,
go ahead.
You know how much
the old sledge-o-matic routine.
David. You know how much costs that suit?
Your suit is very expensive, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a new one at every show. It's like...
Are you going to bust the melon or not?
You're going to do it.
Oh, I'm going to do it?
Yes.
Well, then I need a different melon. Oh, here's my melon.
Oh, it was prepared.
It's not, no.
Yeah.
No, let's...
It has a tape
No,
and
shut up.
Excuse me. It's a movie melon.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's a pleasure to meet you. Don't screw around with me, buddy.
You got it.
I'll drop you like a melon. Jean-Claude Van Damme. We'll be right back,
kid. Belong to one union. Let's say they belong to Actors Equity, of which I'm the president, which is stage actors all over America, together down there on the 31st to talk about the situation. It's an interesting situation because Texas...
We're not rolling, are we?
No, I would never say this. But that may prove to be the... so that's the situation I was referring to.
That is very interesting. Okay.
Can you just say your name to the mic?
Yes, Bobby Wygant, Dallas.
Okay, now we're starting.
I'm going to sit up just a little more. I keep sliding down as the day goes on. Yeah.
Ron, good morning.
Good morning, Bobby.
It's good to see you here in New York, and we're here, of course, to talk about Timecop. You're in it with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you had not worked with him before. Or
no, I have not.
I didn't think you had.
No.
And interesting premise to this film. I think anytime you have a time warp, you set up a what-if thing, that's interesting for, I'm sure, the actors as well as the audience. What fascinated me about your role is that you are playing scenes with yourself only 10 years apart.
Right.
So what was the actor's challenge there? How did you attack that?
It was interesting. It was interesting for two reasons that you brought up. One, playing a scene with yourself, but also the 10-year difference is not as easy as if there were a 40-year difference. If there were a 40-year difference, you could play a younger man and an obviously older man. In 10 years, most people don't change all that much unless they've had some really a bad patch. But you can't tell the difference that much, so there's more subtlety involved in there. I concentrated not on physically what was different about the 10 years, but what had transpired in my life in terms of a little less confident to more confidence, a little uncertain about what you want and how to get it, to more of a certainty about what you want, how to get it, or what you've settled for. Those are the changes that happen in people's lives. So that was kind of interesting to to think about and to try to play and see if I could, get it across. And technologically, it was kind of interesting being with. I liked acting with myself. I'd like to do it more. Actually, I got along very well with the other actor. We went out and socialized together. It worked very well, actually. I mean, Jean-Claude was fun, but I enjoyed, scenes with myself. It was kind of intriguing. I was a little less confident than I am sometimes because I had to rely less on myself and more on the director and the technology and his word of what it would eventually look like. You just don't know.
I find your background so fascinating. Excuse me. I find your background so fascinating because you are a scholar, have a master's in Chinese history, Chinese culture, studied in Taiwan, and then the next thing we know, you're into acting. But when you were studying Chinese culture and history, what did you plan to do? Teach?
No, I wanted to work for the government.
Ours or theirs?
No, ours. I didn't want to work for the I liked the food, but I didn't want to work for the government. No, our government. I'd always been interested in diplomacy and international relations, and I had, when I graduated college, I went to law school for a while. Then I went to graduate school in Chinese history. And it was the late 60s, and I received a stipend from the government and from my school to study in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And I went there for several years, and I traveled extensively in Southeast Asia and what was then the Soviet Union and South America and North Africa and Europe. And I had a lot of fun. It was very irresponsible. I deferred and delayed responsibility as long as I could, being a fairly typical member of my generation, unlike the kids with MBAs at 18 years old and down on Wall Street today. I thought the longer I could not be responsible for anything, including myself, the better. And then when I got back here, I decided I didn't want to go back to law school. I didn't want to get a PhD, and I certainly didn't want to work for the government at that point. Those years were roiling years. I was very conflicted about the Vietnam War. I wasn't in the service, but I was in Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia in 68, 69. But I wasn't in the Army. And when I got back, I didn't quite know what to do with myself. And I remembered I had an actress girlfriend in college. I had done 1 or 2 plays, and I thought I'd take some lessons. And then I kind of dwindled into being an actor. I thought it would be a lark. It'd be fun to do for a couple of years. And here I am. I'm still having fun, but it's been 20 years now that I've been doing it. I've been kind of lucky, too. So,
if you could go back, would you change anything?
Oh, I'd change a whole lot of things, wouldn't you, Bobby?
I don't know.
I think I would. I'd be a little afraid that whatever I changed would, have unanticipated consequences for other things. I changed something, and something else would change that I didn't want changed. You don't know. But sure, I think we all make mistakes, and as we get older, we say, boy, I could have done that better, or I could have been kinder, or I could have been nicer, or whatever. So.
Yes, those kinds of things. But you wouldn't change your career, would you?
I don't know. Now that I've done what I've done, and I feel kind of privileged to be doing what I'm doing, I guess not. But I have a tremendous appetite and passion for life. I'd love to try lots of different things and be in different professions. I know I would probably not want to read the Wall Street Journal and wait for a train at 8:22 in the morning and get home at 7 o'clock at night. I'm pretty certain about that, although I'm sure many people enjoy that type of life. I need a little more unstructured life. I need to work hard, and then I need to relax hard for a while and take time off. Actors have a very nice life. A lot of people, I think, know it in their gut, but they don't really know it. You can work very hard for 3 or 4 months. I mean, very hard, 14-hour days and 6 days a week, and travel from home where you don't want to be away from home. When I was younger, I loved the volatility of the career, not knowing what city I'd be in where. But as you have children and you get older, you want a little more stability. But I have a lot of time off, and time is the most precious thing in the world to me. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm with my kids. I watch them grow up. I get to indulge all my other little tastes, reading and this and that. So, no, I probably would not do anything else.
I would say life is good. Life is good for you.
Yeah.
Ron, thanks for your time here today in New York City. And congratulations to you on your performances in Timecop.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that Ron likes working with Ron. Because it comes off very nicely
so
on
far,
screen.
we get along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Belong to one.
What is our total time? Okay. Wouldn't kill that in 10. Jean-Claude, it's good to see you again.
Hello.
And you're looking bright and chipper this morning.
Thank you.
Anticipating the opening of Timecop, I'm sure. And congratulations to you. Real high-tech, high-adventure, high-action movie. Yeah, should do well. I don't know if you remember the very first time you came to Dallas, Fort Worth, but for Bloodsport. Excuse me. But I remember one of the things that you wanted to do, you said, now watch me and keep the camera rolling. And you got 2 chairs and you hopped up there and did your split between the 2 chairs. Now I see this in the movie.
Right.
Still doing the splits.
A different type of a side split, yeah.
Yes, but nonetheless.
In a kitchen.
Yes, the counter.
Right,
yes. Was this just something that you interjected, or you were asked to do it, or is it kind of your trademark now?
No, Peter Hyam said to me, you've got to do something very special for this movie. I will take care of the look, of the decor, everything, but try to bring something very unusual. What about that split you did in Bloodsport? And I go, the same split again, or is it something else, maybe on the side or something, in a fight scene? So we came with the idea, and it looked great. It looked unusual.
But every time you do that, people go, ooh! I mean, especially men go, ooh!
Right.
Don't you worry about hurting yourself?
Those days I put lots of cream, hot cream, to warm up the muscle, the tendon, because I'm not 19 anymore. It's like you got to be careful.
Yeah, I would think anybody at any age would have to be careful with that maneuver. Let's talk about the time warp factor of this movie, where you're 10 years into the future, but you can go back. If you could go back 10 or even 20 years ago, is there anything about your life you would have changed?
Hey, people ask me the questions. No. Everything I've done, was wonderful. I mean, even if I made some mistakes in my life, I learn from those mistakes, and I will not change nothing.
You would still want to go through the same struggle?
Absolute. Yeah, because I know what's going on, I know how I feel, and my parents still alive, grandparents. I mean, I'm in great shape. I'm lucky.
Career-wise, is there anything you would choose differently?
No, because I mean, it's like, it's wonderful the way I came from those C movies to movies like Timecop, and I know the bottom of the business to almost the top, and it's great.
Jean-Claude, did you always have a plan for your life and a timetable, or did you just let it happen?
No, you need to have a specific plan, and I was always pushing for better. And when I came in this country, years ago now, it's about 11, 12 years ago, I was focused on what I want to do.
To be in films?
Sure, absolutely. But I didn't know how to do it, or who to approach. And that took time, and it was fast. After 5 years, 6 years in the US, I became the guy from Bloodsport.
Are you impatient with people who just fritter away their lives and want everybody else to do things for them? Are you impatient with that?
No, but it's sad. I mean, I'm upset with people when they do nothing with their life. Lots of people are complaining about small stuff, you know, like especially in this country. You've got so much to do. It's such a big country. I'm not talking about movies only. I mean, any types of business. It's such a a huge country, if you do something great, you can have a great living.
What do you see for yourself 10 years in the future?
That's too much in the future, but I will be doing movies, I guess. If not in front of the camera, maybe behind the camera, depending on my career. If I'm going down, I hope not, but I will do something else, like producing movie or directing movies. I just love movies.
But it'll always be movies.
I think so. You never know. I may be a priest in 10 years from now.
A what?
A priest.
I thought that's what you said. I wanted to be sure.
No, it's a joke, but...
Doing Gregorian chants and all.
Right.
How's your singing?
Bad. Real bad.
But I bet if
How about we have a playback? We'll have a playback.
Okay. Jean-Claude, it's always good to see you. I enjoy visiting with you, and I hope that Timecop does well for you. And I know all the Jean-Claude fans are just going to be lined up, raring to get in there to see it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good.
It's Westwood. That's my hometown.
Westwood. You and OJ.
Okay. Yeah.
Is he your neighbor?
No,
Was he?
dear friend.
Yeah. You're rolling? Okay. Well, Peter, good morning. It's
Morning
good to
to you.
see you again.
Pleasure.
Here in New York to talk about Timecop, new Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, action film, and congratulations to you all.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
High tech, high action, high adventure. Now, if we just get everybody to hie themselves to the theater, you'll be happy.
That is the charter, yes.
Yes. Peter, I've always been fascinated by film technology. I'm not a very technical person, but I certainly recognize when I see good technology on the screen. And you have some fabulous technology in
Thank
this motion picture. I'm thinking of directors telling me that just even in the last 6, 8, 10 months, we've had these enormous developments that, that they can now use. For you, what do you have in this film that you couldn't have had, say, a year ago if you'd made the film? Or 2 years ago?
I don't know. I mean, the two quantum leaps, pardon the pun, in technology and film technology started with George Lucas in Star Wars, where they developed this thing called motion control, which ultimately brought optical work to its conclusion, and then the computer-generated imagery started. And that really started with Jim Cameron. That really started with Terminator 2. Since then, it's just refining it. That's all it is. There's been no massive change. What has happened is it's become accessible. More and more people can do it. And now any filmmaker can put any image they want on screen. There are simply no limits. The main effect of this film, the one that I wrestled with the longest, was to somehow or other show how people move from one time to another in a way that an audience has not seen before. And that's an effect that could not have been done any other way except computer-generated imagery. It could never have been done a few years ago. It could have been done last year. It couldn't have been done a few years ago. There are simply no limits anymore. I even heard somebody said that someone's going to make a movie with their dinosaurs. And I don't believe it, except someone said they're going to be dinosaurs in a movie and they're going to actually run into a kitchen. I don't think it can happen.
Why don't you beat them to it, Peter?
Well, I don't think it can happen.
Do you enjoy more the technology of a film rather than doing like some little drawing room comedy or something?
I don't think it's enjoying the complication of the technology of film more. I don't know if I have the intellect to do a drawing room comedy. I look at certain films, I look at Terms of Endearment, I look at Amadeus, I look at Remains of the Day, and I can't believe how somebody did those movies. I don't know. I don't know if I would have had the talent to do big. My orientation is visual. I come from being a failed artist. So I am drawn to those films that take you places you haven't been to, or places you don't ordinarily get a chance to go to. I think that's part of what a movie's about. And I'm this, I guess, fairly stupid guy. And so I kind of like big, brawny, exciting movies. And my favorite film in the world is that movie that excites you and is not stupid. So when I see a movie like The Fugitive, or I see a movie like the first Die Hard, those are my favorite movies in the world, you know.
What do you think will be the next quantum leap in film technology? Where is there to go?
I would think that one of the things that's going to happen in the future would probably be things where we are dealing with 3 dimensions without having to look at glasses. I mean, I think people have been tinkering with holography for a long time. I personally think it's not as important as just trying to make good films. I don't think anything matters other than, you know, when the lights go up, audiences don't ask you, was that a 180 millimeter lens you used? The audience asks you, you know, why didn't the guy call the police when he heard the burglar break downstairs? That's what we all care about. Does the story make any sense? And are the actors compelling?
What do you think about these virtual reality places now, that are arcades where people go in and select all these different things?
I tell you, as a filmmaker, and I actually made a bit of fun of the virtual reality thing in this film, I am more and more frightened about anything that takes people away from the collective experience of going to a movie theater. So to me, the idea of more and more being done so people can sit in their houses and experience everything from sex to movies to music to knowledge is frightening to me, because the essence of a film, what separates film from television, is that it's 1,000 people sitting in this huge place with this glorious screen, all laughing and screaming and crying and jumping up together. And that can't be replaced by anything. And I think we crave it. I frankly think the more leisure time we have in our hands and the more we can spend at home and the more we have 8,000 channels and all that stuff, the more ultimately we crave getting out of the house and sitting in a place and seeing something vast where we can physically feel people around us and hear the laughter or hear the screams.
Peter, as always, it's good speaking with you, and congratulations on Timecop. And I wish only the best for you.
Thank you, and those are UCLA, not Dallas Cowboy colors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Money?
The man is very busy making quantum leaps. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Max? Which one? The young, the old?
I'll start with the young.
The young one? Very career, nice guy, normal cop. And the old Walker is very dramatic, sad in life, and very faithful to his job, his mission. You have to go see the movie.
Done that.
I hate to talk about myself. Oh.
I ran dozens of simulated launches, but I never noticed that wall before.
Simulated?
Yeah, this is my first real launch.
Great. Don't stick your head out of the window.
Was it fun making this picture?
Yeah, it was great. I was surrounded by professional people, directors, actors, and it was a good movie to do. And especially it was shot in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful and unusual, all those gadgets and time traveling.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of time traveling, if you were given the opportunity to go back in time, who would you like to meet?
Lots of people. People like, I just talk about it, like people like Beethoven, people like Jacques Brel. Mm-hmm. His actors, guys like McQueen, Kirk Douglas.
Now, going the other way, if you could travel into the future 10 years from now, what would you hope to see?
I hope we'll still have the planet healthy, animals. I'm always afraid if the son of my son or the daughter of my son will see animals. I just shot a movie in Australia, and I was lucky enough to be with some baby kangaroo in my arms and to feed them milk and koala bear. And I hope in the future we'll still have animals.
In this movie, you age a little bit. Is that something you're afraid of in your own life, growing old?
No, I'm so young. I've got time. I'm 33. I think I will look better around 40. Then when I'll be 40, we'll talk about it.
You must get recognized quite often on the street. What do people come up and say to you when they notice you?
They want an autograph, they want to shake hands, they want to talk about everything, nothing. Some people are telling me their lives, their problems, hoping I will be able to give them an advice. Sometimes it's pressure on you, you know?
So what do you resent most about being in the public eye?
Nothing. It's okay. I'm very lucky with my business and my job. I mean, it come with it, and without those people, I will be nothing. They bought the tickets and they made me a star, and it's almost like a duty to respond to them.
Now I understand you do a mean Jerry Lewis impersonation. Could you do a little for me?
I just done it for somebody else.
Come on.
He gave me like $1. So I did it. No.
I don't have any money.
No, that's too bad.
She farts, she'll get ahead of the pod.
People magazine calls Timecop clever and original.
Is this the hottest thing or what?
Suspenseful and fun, with effects that will leave you breathless. A breakthrough role for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Timecop, rated R.
Timecop remains Van Damme's highest-grossing film as a lead actor. Although met with mixed reviews, it is generally regarded by critics as one of Van Damme's best films.
Never interrupt me when I'm talking to myself.
Coming this February from MCA Universal Home Video, Jean-Claude Van Damme stars in the futuristic action thriller Timecop. We've got more action with William Shatner's Tech War and an erotic suspense thriller, Deconstructing Sarah. Then there's classic comedy with 2 new releases from the Ma and Pa Kettle Collection. And don't forget February's low price collection.
In the year 2004, time travel is a reality.
You are charged with violations of TEC Code 40.8 time travel with intent to alter the future.
And a crime.
This scum is not going back to steal money.
Will you get up? Jean-Claude Van Damme, Ron Silver. Timecop.
Timecop was first released on VHS on February 21st, 1995, Laserdisc on February 28th, 1995, and later released on DVD January 20th, 1998.
He's a man of action, a man of culture.
I saw Tyson beat Spinks on TV.
And now he's a man of the future.
Time travel. That's not possible.
MCA Universal Home Video presents Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Don't stick your head out of the window.
In the action-packed thrill ride of the year, Timecop. It debuted as the #1 movie in America and stayed there for 2 weeks in a row.
Is this the hottest thing or what?
Over $43 million at the box office.
The chip is going to be worth billions.
People magazine calls it clever and original.
Are we gonna blast to the past?
Rolling Stone calls it stylish, an action-packed edge-of-your-seat story with heart-pounding suspense and romance.
If I'm off on velocity or trajectory, you're going to be an omelet.
And the Associated Press says Timecop is terrific, with white-knuckle thrills that leave you breathless.
We have to go.
And with Jean-Claude, you know it's going to be even hotter on video. Rolling Stone magazine called him valiant, and audiences obviously agree. His ROI rating average is over 276%. One of the highest in the business.
Trust me.
Also starring Ron Silver.
Never interrupt me when I'm talking to myself.
And Mia Sara.
What am I like 10 years from now?
Just like now. Perfect.
Here's what Jean-Claude had to say about the story.
It's got all the elements. Love story. We've got the action. The sci-fi look. But behind the action, we'll have a very, very intelligent story.
Christ, you're me.
Director Peter Hyams talks about his star and the amazing stunts he actually performs himself.
Jean-Claude himself is
very involved in terms of these areas of film. So it's really fun because he really does understand how to do it.
And he was equally impressed with the excitement level they achieved on the set.
So we've got this enormous cavernous stage that we're using for this launch bay, and we're laying tracks down and building this pod, and they're going to send this thing rocketing down the stage at 40, 50 miles an hour. God knows what's going to happen when anybody gets in it.
Trying to scare me?
Action! In releasing this red-hot film onto video, MCA Universal Home Video has come up with an action-based, pre-pack offer of its own. Get this! Buy just 10 units of Timecop and you'll receive a Timecop wristwatch, a Timecop Capsule t-shirt, a 6-foot Van Damme floor standee, and an official full-color Timecop banner. And in-store POP will include brochures, one-sheets, a 12-inch counter mini standee, and a 3-sided floor display featuring Tech War and Tough and Deadly. So prepare for the countdown.
Manual lock initiation.
And hang on for the ride of your life.
Oh my God.
Because Van Damme is coming. And isn't it about time? Timecop. Available on Laserdisc and video cassette from MCA Universal Home Video.
Same matter can occupy some space.
The film includes the song The Smithereens' Time Won't Let Me, which was released in August 1994.
And this way, I will take you through time. And of course, I cannot predict what will happen.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
Voyage.
I saw Tyson beat Spinks on TV.
Hans Kleindost is out to alter the course of history. Your mission is to destroy the mad techno demon before he dominates the world. In order to find him, you must travel from prehistoric times to Los Angeles in the year 2144. You'll need an arsenal to fight off the Neanderthals, mercenaries, and body double who want to stop you. Get back to the future with Timecop from JVC.
Timecop is a side-scrolling action video game produced by Cryo Interactive for the Super Nintendo system in 1995. Although the game was only released for the Super NES, a version was developed for the Sega CD, but remain unreleased.
Smart kid. He read my mind.
With your English, he doesn't have much choice.
Perfetto. Vieni dentro. Ti devo dire una cosa importante.
Fa con calma. Non devo andare da nessuna parte.